Good morning. It is now week 3. And, well, I'd like to start this week off with some goals I want to have for myself. So I have been reading that ADHD book and the CBT and been doing that educational course. Really want to focus on progressing through all of those. Because although I did it last week, I didn't quite feel that I was progressing enough on them. So I'm going to really focus on just plowing through those and, I don't know, just making progress on them. So for one, that educational course I'm doing, it's really just an educational course. If I follow through with that, then I actually have to get a certification on that. So the sooner I can finish this educational course, which is just to get me familiar with everything, then I can pursue the certification stuff. And then the more I get into those books, the more I can start implementing those techniques a little bit more. So that's my goal, just to start absorbing stuff and kind of even working even harder to progress along. So, but yeah, that's just the way I want to start this week, is goals to finish things or get further along. But I will update you on anything new. So till then, I will see you on the next video. It's now Tuesday. I had my check-in with my doctor yesterday and mentioned that occasionally I have sleeping problems, and I think it might be because I'm taking the second pill later at night. And so apparently I can take both at the same time in the morning, so that's what I'm starting today. But other than that, the checkup went well. He wants to schedule a in-person meeting about 3 weeks from now to check on my blood pressure, because it is a little high. And that's the only update I have for today. And yeah, I will see you again next time. Okay, so here we are at the end of week 3. And I am taking the last pills for the week. I do have kind of a few updates. Okay, so first up, no real side effects, as I can tell. There's some occasional sleep issues, and it's not like full-blown insomnia. I do wound up getting a decent amount of sleep, roughly about 6 to 7 hours, which is about normal for me. I do occasionally wake up and, well, yeah, so I do occasionally wake up in the middle of the night, but for the most part, I'm able to get back to sleep. And switching to 2 pills at the same time hasn't really made too much of a change. Well, maybe a little. I think when I was doing the 2 pills and the last pill at night around dinner time, I did have a little bit more energy, which was harder to fall asleep. So maybe it has kind of improved. I do want to update on any kind of improved focus. So I have noticed that I do have a slight better improvement on focus. Like when I get onto something, I can focus on it a little bit better. But I have noticed I don't have any kind of hyper focus, which I've heard a lot about, where I'm just absorbed into whatever I'm doing. Yeah, I can get into what I'm doing, but I'm not like fully absorbed into it. And I can occasionally find myself or my mind wandering, like it's getting bored and it wants to move on to something else. And that's kind of where I guess I have a little bit better focus. It doesn't wander off as easily, but it's still, there's no hyper focus. So it's kind of expecting that, but it's only been 3 weeks now. They say that it can take maybe about a month, maybe a month or two until you can actually start feeling the effects. So we're gonna have to wait on that. In terms of my research progress, so I had kind of 3 general goals in mind: researching about CBT, ADHD techniques, and that educational course. I was rewatching some of the the intro video for this week, and I did mention that I wanted to just plow through it and just uh, get as much done as possible. I think for the most part that was a mistake, because yeah, I did get through quite a bit of stuff, but I don't know if I really learned much. I mean, I made progress, but I think the fault of that goal was kind of absorbing as much information, useful information as possible. So my next goal going into next week is for one to slow down and actually set aside either certain days or I haven't really quite figured it out. Maybe certain days where I will just actually sit down and just write what I've learned, or put it into a more, I don't know, useful research. It's like, for example, the ADHD book, which I do recommend. It's actually pretty good. There's sections in each chapter, and the writer calls it a toolbox, and the toolbox is actually after going through all the information, what's the purpose of the chapter, the toolbox actually gives out like tips and and kind of like a helpful advice. And that's just one of those things I would just plow through, but maybe I need to go back, even write it all down so it could actually be useful tips. Same thing with the educational course, that I was plowing through it, but is it really any information I can go back on? Probably not, because, well, I was just plowing through it, not really learning it. And then we have the CBT, which one slight problem with that CBT book, honestly, when I bought it, I just bought it because it had a high review, but I didn't really look at the title. That CBT book that I got really focuses on depression and anxiety, which, yeah, I have a little bit of that, but the whole book is focused on that. I kind of wanted something to retrain thinking, which is one reason I'm deciding to continue with the book, because it does still highlight some ways to rethink things. And yeah, so I'm just gonna continue with that book, but I'll decide if afterwards it wasn't what I was looking for, and try and pursue other books about it. Yeah, so that is the end of week 3. There may be a week 4, because I say that because I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing every week videos, or just occasionally check in every now and then. Because as you can tell from week 1 to now, videos have gotten a lot shorter. We will have to wait and see. Anyways, we'll probably at least see you tomorrow. Bye.